Chicago's proud and thriving Japanese American community is being honored with an exhibit that sheds light on a dark chapter of America's history. WGN's Micah Mater reports.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
The World War II bombing of Pearl Harbor forced the U.S. into a battle with enemies abroad and raised questions about the possibilities of enemies at home.
Japanese aliens.
Japanese Americans living here for decades before the war found themselves under suspicion. Communities, mostly on the West Coast, would soon find these signs posted everywhere. Jean Mishima, 6 years old and living in California at the time.
They were posted district by district, telling people when to report and what they can take. They can only take what they can carry. They had 7 days to prepare, to take care of all their things, and they were transferred.
Nearly 120,000 people with any Japanese ancestry were sent to internment camps, leaving their homes and businesses behind. 2/3 of them American citizens.
Sometimes we're lucky enough to have good friends hold it for them. Others, government facilities provided something, but they're vandalized. There's nothing left.
At the time, the government called it a national security precaution. Historians now call it something very different.
And if you really studied the data, it was pure economics. There was a lot of anti-Asian feelings.
In 1864, Chinese workers began coming to the United States to build the nation's railroads. Very difficult and dangerous work. White laborers wouldn't do it for the low wages. Eventually, poor pay and conditions, as well as racial violence, including lynchings, led many to return to China. Slowly, workers from Japan began immigrating to the U.S. under a treaty agreement.
You had a large populations of Japanese and Japanese Americans here. They would take land that nobody wanted and develop into a very agricultural producing product. So at one point, I think they had about 35% of the market as far as fruit and vegetables was concerned.
In 1924, legislation passed, setting an immigration quota based on national origins, limiting immigration from all of Asia as well as parts of Eastern and Southern Europe. Northern Europeans, however, were still welcomed. Inside the camps, detainees tried to find some normalcy.
We had Quakers as teachers and the turnover was great, if you can understand, because they had to live there, with their families. Well, eventually a lot of the camps started producing their own food because the food wasn't very good. In some of these towns where they had the camps, the Japanese that lived there would come on weekends and join the activities, but they were allowed to leave. If one of the internees had tried to leave, they would have been shot.
In 1944, the issue of the camps made its way to the Supreme Court, citing the Fifth Amendment, that citizens could not be incarcerated without due process. A ruling agreed, with the last camp closing in 1945. Jean's family headed to the Midwest.
Because they gave us $25 on a bus or a train ticket. I don't know how my family managed, I'm saying, with that. Chicago was known as a welcoming city, so a lot of them came to Chicago. But the problem was, housing was very difficult. There would be signs for rent, but when you go there, they'll say, no, it's already rented. And then you go a week later, that sign could still be up.
Now, president of the Chicago Japanese American Historical Society, she's one of the curators of an exhibit at the Illinois Holocaust Museum, Resilience, a Sansei Sense of Legacy. It acknowledges the pain and pride of that chapter in American history. Decades after the camps had been emptied, Congress appointed a civilian commission to conduct a formal federal investigation. At hearings across the country, survivors spoke out.
To have been deprived by my own country, I will not accept rhetoric.
The commission concluded the military move had been based on racially fueled wartime hysteria. In 1988, President Ronald Reagan issued this apology.
And it's not for us today to pass judgment upon those who may have made mistakes while engaged in that great struggle. Yet we must recognize that the internment of Japanese Americans was just that, a mistake. The legislation that I am about to sign provides for a restitution payment to each of the 60,000 survivors.
Jean says knowing history is the best way to keep from repeating it.
Hopefully that'll never happen again, but we never seem to learn from our past mistakes.
Now that exhibit closes June 1st, tomorrow, as the museum prepares for some renovations. For details, you can visit the website ilholocaustmuseum.org. You can also find the Chicago Japanese American Historical Society, and that's at cjahs.org.